companions, the last time we spoke, I told you about being detained in Namibia. And I want to take the story forward now, and it would be great if you would join me. So, unfortunately, I have no images of this situation because they had taken away everything I had, but I can tell you about my circumstances and how I felt and so on. So the cell that I was kept in was not part of the main cell complex, which was a large building that I saw when they brought us in. It was a kind of a holding cell on the side. It was about 2 by 3 meters in size, 6 square meters. It had a small window, and if I stood on tiptoe, I could look out at the mesh wire fence outside and the gravel road running in front of the police station and the rubbish heap on the other side of the road that stank terribly when the wind came from that direction. The cell itself was absolutely filthy. There was rancid foods lying around, I don't know for how long ago, and several plastic cool drink bottles full and half full of urine from previous inmates, I guess. And I had a man tissue with me, and with this I cleaned a strip of floor just wide enough for me to lie down on to sleep. And I cleared a patch on the flat concrete park-style bench that was in the cell for me to sit on. The Land Cruiser, I had asked Angola to park under a camel thorn tree next to the main cell complex and to stay with it and look after it. But I had no way of knowing whether this had actually happened. This was an uncertainty. Now, apart from the obnoxious lieutenant colonel that was there the evening that I was arrested, the rest of the staff were professional but reserved, and they did not tell me anything. So I didn't know what the situation was going to be. Was I going to be charged? When? Was I going to be given a trial? How long would it take before I went on trial? Was I going to be detained for a very long time? This was Africa, and it was the middle world, and one hears stories of people thrown in jail and forgotten. On top of that, I had not been able to contact anybody because I had no means. Now, I had a schedule of reporting in every second day via my GPS. This is a satellite-borne message. And if I did not report back, then, of course, people at home would get extremely worried and start thinking that I had disappeared. Now, the conditions were harsh, but I knew that I could cope with them. I could sleep on the floor. It'll be a little bit cold, but I could survive that. And the terrible boredom that lay ahead, I guess somehow I would manage to cope with mentally. But the uncertainty was difficult to handle. And the worry about the people back home and the vehicle and what was happening to that. And of course, the loss of freedom was a big factor because one does not understand until you're in that situation what it actually means. Towards evening, I looked out the window and 3 people were walking past on the gravel road. And they were simple people dressed in rags, probably beggars. But I envied them because they could go where they wanted to. They were free. So next morning, about 10 o'clock or so, I saw Manjolo walking past the window, and I managed to attract his attention. And I called him over, and he sneaked over quietly. And I could at least confirm from him that the vehicle was, in fact, under the tree, and he was looking after it. He sneaked his phone to me, and I could actually quickly contact Nanelle. Now I found out that Manjolo had somehow managed to contact her, but that actually made things worse because she couldn't understand what he was telling her. All she sort of deduced after a while was that I'd been detained and had something to do with a firearm. Now, this half information made things worse because she started contacting people and asking about someone detained in Namibia. People told her terrible things about indefinite imprisonment and minimum of 5 years and all sorts of things. She was too concerned about my situation to let my daughters know, because she knew that they would react with extreme anxiety and probably take extreme actions. So she kept it from them, and she contacted my brother Philip and shared the situation with him, and the two of them started making plans. Anyway, I was then able to contact her, and I told her what the situation was exactly. And I said, but okay, let's just slow down a bit. Let's not put the whole world into motion. Let's just wait and see how things develop. It might be very serious, but we don't know. It's premature to start acting before we know more about the situation. Because at some point, I'd have to be either moved to a different cell, I guess, or charged or something. And then I'd be able to find out a bit more, and then we could take it from there. I think this is getting a bit long. I'm going to stop now. And next week, I will tell you more about what happened and how things went with me in jail. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Good luck.